Greetings and salutations, particularly to those of you who are still hot and dusty or maybe a little still muddy from the burn. Lord, I was born around May, trying to make a living, doing the best I can. When it's time to leave it, I hope you'll understand that I was born around May, and my father was a gambler down in Georgia. And he wound up on the wrong end of a gun. I was born in the backseat of a Greyhound bus, rolling down Highway 41. Oh Lord, I was born around in May, trying to make a living, doing the best I can. When it's time to leave it, I hope you'll understand I was born around the bay. Well, I'm on my way to New Orleans this morning, leaving out of Nashville, Tennessee. They're always having a good time down the bayou. Oh Lord, them Delta women think the world of me. Oh Lord, I was born around in May, trying to make a living, doing the best I can. Oh, when it's time to leave it, I hope you'll understand that I was born around May. Lord, I was born around in 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 May. Well, what has happened on the news since we've been apart? Quite a lot, as it turns out. Quite a lot, but not quite all the things that you would think if you were watching the news about Burning Man. So, let's take a quick swing through the chat and see who's here and talking. All right, Craig Jackman, Dave Hill, Melissa Catano, Zach White. Hey, Julie is here with jet lag. Julie, I don't even know where you've been. Were you out in? No, I just couldn't even guess. I've been so out of touch. So when I'm at Burning Man, most of you probably know when I'm at the Burn, I don't have any screens around me unless they're part of an art piece. I don't have any social media. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not looking at. I'm not trying to get phone reception. I guess I should say. It's not like I'm screening my calls. My phone is off and locked away from my face for, well, usually in excess of 2 weeks. It's very, I don't know, it's like a dopamine reset. Not that Burning Man is the under-stimulating place to do a dopamine reset. Needless to say, I'm kind of out of touch with world news, but I heard Burning Man made some world news. We'll come back to that. Hello, Svetlana. Corey Benjamin. I guess it's very foggy in Petaluma right now, if I'm understanding that right. Doesn't seem like too big a stretch of interpretation. I'm going to change this around. Kelsey Blaine Gibson's here. Hey, baby. Susan. Hi, Susan. And there are pics of Julie's trip. Well, damn. I've clearly got to catch up. Dave Hill. David Benjamin. Joe Warren. Oh, my God. Joe Warren is up before the sunrise, I think. Not sure what time sun actually comes up in Sweden right now. But, yeah. Lovely. I did see a picture of Sweden. Hello, Kathy B. Ram Farron, yo-ho, sir. Don Emery, how you doing, man? Welcome back as well. Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Zach White. I think I said hi to Zach. Nick Davila. Scrolling. Oh, my mom, Pam, is here. And Julie was in New Zealand and Kathy B was in Norway. Oh. All right. Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking I need to go to New Zealand recently. Now that I'm not on the road all the time with the band anymore, and I've got some flexibility in my independent contractor type work schedule, I want to do some traveling. I don't have critters that I'm responsible for the first time in, well over a decade. And, yeah, my professional obligations are things that I could schedule around. So I was thinking I've not been to Spain in a long time. I've never been to Asia. I've never been to Africa. New Zealand is one of those places. Somebody was trying to persuade me to go. Didn't have to try very hard because, well, it's New Zealand and that sounds awesome. I am going to go to Greece, I believe, in March. I think I'm going to go to Greece in March. Just because I've been invited and I have a place to stay. Yeah, so who heard the stuff on the news about Burning Man? I'm okay, obviously. So I got there, and I guess that to give you a little backstory, I was supposed to arrive on the Monday before the burn, so I don't remember what day that is. It is before a week before the event starts. Okay, so I've got an early access work pass to go in and help build the city, basically. And I didn't actually get in until the Wednesday before the burn starts because of the rain. So when it rains out there, all the dust turns to clay. And this clay sticks to itself in this ridiculously efficient kind of way. So if you walk out in boots or barefoot, the clay sticks to your feet. Then you take another step. That new clay sticks to the old clay. Then you take another step, and that new clay piles on to the former clay. And it doesn't take more than about 5 steps before you're walking like you're walking in swim fins, but with lead ankle weights around you at the same time, right? And so when it rains, moving around on playa is, to say the least, exceedingly difficult. And similarly, car wheels get built up. And so cars get stuck really, really, really easily because if you can imagine clay sticking to itself, you have an actual snowball effect around your car wheel where your tire gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it will not spin in the wheel well. And then if you have the torque to just kind of power through that, essentially what ends up happening is you just dig down into the mud and you sink until you are, well, maybe deeper than the axle of your car. On top of getting a lot of cars stuck, all this really does is dig huge, crazy deep potholes in the roads really, really, really fast. So when it starts to rain, all of Burning Man shuts down any form of vehicle transportation. Bikes are okay if they're physically possible. You can't actually physically ride a bike. The most interesting, in fact, only exception to this that I've seen is one of my campmates, JD, teaches robotics at the University of Arizona. And part of his research projects is he helps develop and design Mars and Moon rovers. And that guy put together a 3-wheeled bike followed by a 4-wheeled cart with, I won't go into the description of how this was physically possible, but it was motorized and it was the only movable vehicle I could see making its way over the mud. I was blown away, but that's the kind of people that join my camp. That's the kind of people that go to Burning Man. Yeah, you're going to hear about the biggest party in the world because that's the easiest thing to report about on the news. You don't hear about all the PhD candidates going out to try their research or to give lectures in practice of defending their upcoming dissertation. That is the sort of thing that I go for. That is the sort of thing that keeps me going back. What you do hear about on the news, well, apparently there was some kind of blockade set up by protesters. I didn't see this. It did not affect me at all. I was already in and building and had been for a while. But apparently that made the news. The funniest little instance of news that I had heard of is when I was talking to Mom and Dad on the phone as I was driving the truck out of the burn and making my way back to Los Angeles. Mom saw a guy on social media or some small news outlet, I'm not sure what, saying how they got some satellite internet, probably from Starlink, because we did actually get free Starlink access. This is Elon Musk's series of satellites. Elon Musk is a burner. Apparently, he does take time out of his busy, world-altering schedule to go to Burning Man. That's the kind of people that go to this thing. And when it all started raining and, apocalyptic calamity started issuing forth, Elon unlocked all the satellite links, all the Starlink satellites, so that the burners could have free internet. It was very kind of him. So Mom told me she saw this like a little interview or a talking head kind of thing where a guy was saying that they were at their camp watching, I think it was CNN, say how people were starving at Burning Man. And while they are watching this news, they are literally eating grilled lobster and vegan pizza. So, did that happen in some non-zero amount? Probably. It didn't happen to anyone that I know because, well, frankly, I'm happiest in life when I'm of best service to my community and to the people around me that I love. And in this case, I was in this rather apocalyptic circumstance because vehicles could not move, so there's no medical evac. The porta potties could not be serviced. The supplies that you had are the supplies that you had. Nothing is moving. But this was my 15th burn, and so I had enough experience to be of value, kind of like the matriarch orca of the pod, and the physical strength to help people pull shit out of the mud, the knowledge of how to tie, build, and rig to help people that needed help reconstructing or securing their shelters, and enough intelligence to figure out how to help people solve problems that I had never seen before. So I'm not going into specifics because it's specifically not a yay me flex. I felt extremely valuable to my tribe. And in a variety of ways. And when everybody was physically taken care of and had all the supplies, the food, the water, the things that they needed, the basics, the shelter, then I got out a guitar and gathered the camp in our community kitchen and let a big group sing along just for morale. And I don't know, it may have been the happiest I've ever been. It's certainly the happiest I've been in a long time. It was an amazing experience. I can't describe to you how life transforming it is. Yeah, people, it's not always positive, it's not always easy, but this is what Kennedy said about going to the moon. Sometimes we do things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And yeah, Burning Man is physically hard. It's emotionally hard. I've seen more relationships break up at the burn or immediately afterward because people see what they are like in emergency situations when shit gets real. But on the other hand, by the other token, I've seen more relationships start that end in or continue in families that get their initial spark, their first meeting at the burn. One person died, as I understand it, not because of the rain. But people get married, people get divorced. I'm not sure if children are specifically born there, but I'm sure a lot are conceived there. And everyone lives quite fully. It's not for everyone, but everyone should try it once, in my humble personal opinion. So, I'm going to play another song, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Oh my, what up? Okay, here's one I played while a storm was rolling in, and we're all huddling for shelter in my closed truck. Yeah, this is a good one for now. All right, this is an old one from the 80s. Miss Annie Lennox. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like I knew emotion. I wanna walk in the open way, I wanna talk like lovers do, wanna dive into your ocean, is it raining with you? So baby, talk to me like lovers do. Walk with me like lovers do. Talk to me like lovers do. Here comes the rain again, raining on my head like a tragedy, tearing me apart like I knew emotion. I wanna walk in the open with. I wanna kiss like lovers do. Wanna dive into your ocean. Is it raining with you? So baby, talk to me like lovers do. Walk with me like lovers do. Talk to me like lovers do. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like I need emotion. I wanna walk in the open way, I wanna talk like lovers do, wanna dive into your ocean. Is it raining with you? Yeah, that's a good one for a bunch of people started calling it Raining Man this year. I think the only way I could really tie this together, this burn, was Burning Man 23, come for the party, stay for the trauma bonding. But yeah, if you all have any specific questions about the burn, be it what you're curious about or stuff you heard about in the news, please put those questions into the chat. In fact, I'm going to make sure I didn't see. Saw those sitting on the road arguing with cops because they didn't like Burning Man goers to arrive in their private jets. Not sure how far that was true. Yeah, I don't know that people show up in private jets, but people definitely show up in small chartered private planes and Cessnas, that sort of thing. Some people skydive into the burn. Some people like jump out of planes. As I understand it, though, you got to make damn sure you got your ticket like in your pocket immediately on your body, because the feds or whomever will come rushing up to you in teams on all-terrain vehicles and make goddamn sure you got a ticket. Otherwise, you are trespassing on federal land. And yeah, those feds do not have a sense of humor about that kind of thing. Yeah, Nick Devila, the man did burn late this year. So usually the man burns on Saturday, and the temple burns on Sunday. The little crack you heard in my voice is because the temple burn is an extremely sacred thing to me, but I'll come back to that. This year, the man did not burn on Saturday. The man burned on Monday, and then the temple burn was Tuesday, if I'm keeping the days straight. Because again, I'm not looking at phones or calendars, so and I'm keeping track of the days like in my head, and time moves out there at an indescribably subjectively different rate. I was trying to describe to my therapist, not before this burn, but like years ago. My therapist was like, why would you want to be with a partner who could so think they fully fall in love with you, like in the span of just 5 or 7 days, and just in the time of one event? And I'm like, hold the fuck on. You don't realize, because you've never been there, but a week at Burning Man is like a year together anywhere else. I mean, there was somebody, there was a campmate that was talking to me about spending the night with a particular like other campmate, and was saying, "Wow, I really hope this works out. We're gonna spend tonights together." And I hope she doesn't, like I hope she stays with me for the rest of the burn. Which at that point was only supposed to be like another 2 days. This is before the rains happen. And I just looked at her and I said, "Yeah, I hope." And in the default world, that would be a very realistic thing to expect. But so much changes just in the scope of 24 hours out there that I could see. I could see just like a person's entire worldview being replaced. And never mind wanting to spend the night with someone else the next day, I could see literally someone adopting a meditation practice or changing their religion in the span of 24 hours out there. That's how much you experience. Um, So, okay, Mom's got two questions. The significance of burning an effigy of a human, and how long does it take to erect the edifice? Um, so the original effigy of a human came from back in 1986. Larry Harvey was a guy living in San Francisco that was going through a divorce. And the most cathartic thing that he could think of to do at the time was just build this effigy of his wife. So, ironically, not a man at all, a woman. And just sort of cathartically um, burn that relationship to the ground and make peace with it no longer being a thing. Um, the first effigy was not particularly tall, and there were not like a lot of people there. Um, but it lost it lost the personal thing of this just being for Larry, and gained the significance that this is for a whole community very shortly afterward. Um, I don't honestly know how long it takes to build the man. It takes weeks, maybe months. I think it also varies from year to year because there's a different design. Yeah, there is a theme on what the man should look like a five-sided head, for example. And the man icon that you're all familiar with seeing, with the arms raised and the legs outspread, like doing a jumping jack. Um, that's actually not the shape of the man until right before the burn. What you don't realize unless you've been there, and in fact, most people don't even notice their first time, is that the man's arms are down for the entire thing. And the man's arms are down for like the entire month previous. And right before ignition, like the last things, the arms crank up into the air, and then we get that quintessential icon of the Burning Man thing. Um, and it's the biggest fire you will ever see in your entire life. I mean, it changes the local weather patterns. Similarly, there are large hydrogen bombs that are planted by the burn itself is very choreographed and very specifically arranged by a professional pyrotechnic team. There is the largest fireworks show you will ever see, bigger than what happens in New York, St. Louis, um, all of the LA fireworks shows combined for 4th of July fireworks shows, bigger than any of that all put together. I mean, it is insane, the fireworks show that happens at the burn. It ruins people on fireworks shows. You know, like the VP Fair. Oh yeah, wasn't that a cute warm up? What, that was the finale? Really? Because you know that's like the first 5 seconds of Burning Man before things really get going. Cute, bro. Yeah, and this year's fireworks were off the charts. It's it's insane. Just the opulence and one of the things that strikes me about it is that we're together in this ecosystem that is actively trying to kill all of us every minute of every day. Either the heat and dehydration during the daytime or just the freezing cold during the nighttime and just raw exposure. But yeah, it is not a friendly environment for most living beings. And yet, we get together in this extraordinarily intentional way, and we don't just survive, but we actually thrive and do things that change the course of your life. So, I'm going to play a song that I did play at a LoveCast, semi-recently, but but it was significant, and it factored into my burn experience. What is the process of moop cleanup? That's a good one. Well, Nick Davila, thank you for asking that question. I'm going to come back to that after I play another song. So, it occurred to me during a LoveCast that I had to play this song at the burn, and that I was going to have to play it naked. And I'm happy to say I did. I ended up playing this song for a group of about 50 or 60 people, all in my tribe, in my camp. Way, way, way away from our tents and from the civilization. We were all on bikes together and had ridden our bikes way, way out into the emptiness of the deep playa, far away from the flashing lights and amplified music. And we had this big group share. And part of my share was to play this song about being emotionally naked while being physically naked. Baby, ask me anything that you want, and I'll look you in the eye now. There can be no surprises if we mean what we say. I've been around the block and I know some things that I ain't so very proud of. Darling, help me leave this cloud of rolling lonely behind. Naked, I'll stand here naked. If you stay naked with me, I'll stand here naked with you. 'Cause in the morning When I look in the mirror, I look twice at what I'm seeing. If these eyes are really me, Lord have mercy on my soul. I'm walking forward, but I'm walking alone, and I need some understanding. Hell, we all need understanding. I just want you to know, naked, I'll stand here naked. If you stay naked with me, I'll stand here naked with you. Naked, I'll stand here naked. If you stand here naked with me, I'll stand here naked with you. My hands are shaking as I reach for the touch. And all I wanna do is hold you, and I wanna lose control. You are so easy to crave. The time has come for us to let all down. There can be no more denying. If I can't have you, I'm dying. Little more every day. Naked, I'll stand here naked. If you stand here naked with me, I'll stand here naked with you. Naked, I'll stand here naked. If you stand here naked with me, I'll stand here naked with you. Ooh, You know, somebody has asked me about if people frequently, actually, people in the default world frequently. Hey, Paul. People frequently out here ask me about nudity at Burning Man, and you know, what is appropriate to wear on what occasions, that sort of thing. And I think one of the things that really has to be addressed in context is like body positivity, body acceptance is so ubiquitous out there that you can wear really just about anything you want on just about any particular occasion, and nobody's going to shame you for it or ask you to dress more appropriately or cover more of your pink parts or, you know, fill in the blank. We're all on different journeys with our own bodies and being comfortable in those bodies. And at Burning Man, it's just a real come as you are kind of situation. And that's what's celebrated. There's a thing, I guess there was a thing called critical mass, or in cities a number of years ago. I don't know if this is still a thing, where the whole point is to get as many people together on bikes as possible, just to show that biking is an acceptable alternative form of main transportation, right? And so in all these hippie cities, just tons and tons and tons of people get together for what amounts to like a bike rally, or a bicycle. Everybody just ride from all these miles through these very normal main parts of whatever city it's happening in. I had never heard of that before my first burn. And my first burn, the thing that I had heard of, or excuse me, that I showed up and heard of there at the burn was was something called critical tits, where it is just thousands and thousands of topless people riding bikes together, and there's like this whole course laid out, and just just like thousands of people. If you were to just sit there because you're trying to perv out and just see how many breasts you can see, in a few bit, you get bored of it because it just goes on for hours and hours and hours, and there's just like, and it's not like they're going in a loop. It's just that many people participating in the thing. And this is so the backdrop of Burning Man. I totally forgot about it this year. Completely didn't even cross my mind. It probably happened because it's a Burning Man staple, but it's literally just now that it was like, oh yeah, critical tits, it's a thing. It must have happened, and I just didn't even think to go or celebrate or partake or watch or whatever. It's just, it's just this thing that fades into the background of all the other remarkable things that you might be doing at that moment instead. And um and that's one of the reasons that I keep going, is it's this incredible, pertinent, poignant reminder that whatever you're doing right now, be fully immersed in that. Don't get lost in optimizing what I should be doing right now. Do the thing that you deliberately choose to do, and lose yourself in doing that thing. Because if it's looking at art at Burning Man, this isn't going to be here next week. This is going to burn, and probably soon. So enjoy it. Live it fully. Embrace it. Let the juice run down your chin and suck out all the marrow of life. And don't let it be said when you come to die that you had not truly lived. Burning Man. Burning Man is the quintessence of living that way. Nick Davilo wanted to know about MOOP. So the process of MOOP cleanup. So MOOP MOOP. MOOP stands for Matter Out of Place. Burning Man is a leave no trace event. So it is extraordinarily ecological um, in its precepts, I suppose. And the whole notion is that X amount of time after the burn, you should be able to go out to Black Rock Desert, Nevada, and not observe that anything happened there at all. And that's how it looks for most of the year. You cannot tell that this is where Burning Man happens. You cannot tell that this is where 70,000 people come together and build a tent city, basically. So Matter Out of Place, MOOP, is removed hopefully by everybody that goes. Every camp is held to responsibility to their plot of land and what their area looked like. But after they left, there are teams of people that are organized by burningman.org who go out and essentially, I don't know if they actually hold hands, but they walk shoulder to shoulder, like in an organized line, and map where they find stuff that they had to pick up and to put into buckets. And so, yeah, our camp very litigiously cleans up every little sequin, every little toothpick. It doesn't even matter if it's like natural fiber, and that will, like a banana peel that'll rot, right? No, pick it up. Pee on the playa. No, pee in the porta potties or in your jug or whatever you do. That's yeah, it's all part of it. It is a literal leave no trace event. David wants to know, is that area of the desert publicly accessible during the not Burning Man parts of the year? Yes, is the short answer. Um, yeah, you can go out to, because it's federal land, it is open. Burning Man is, I think, the only time of the year that you need a ticket or some kind of otherwise, permit to go out there. Um, and yeah, 4th of Juplaya is is a thing on 4th of July. Apparently, thousands of people go out there for 4th of July. I've never been there for 4th of July, but I'm told that that is a thing. Um, Don, did that naked rider in Seattle leave you sleepless? Oh, Jesus, David. Uh, yep, naked bike riding. It's a thing. And it's a thing you can definitely try at Burning Man. Helps to have very clean, padded seats. I did, David. I did. I've missed the Panano Man. So here's another thing. This is right now. This is the first time that I have had a screen on in front of me, my own like monitor with myself on the screen. This is. I'm so out of the habit of televisions when I come back from the burn. Um, Mom was telling me on the phone a couple of days ago that Disenchantment was just, I love that series on Netflix. This is like a medieval fantasy romp done by the producers of The Simpsons. Came out with a new season while I was gone, and I'm like, I am so out of the habit of needing or having television in my life that I'm just going to keep this going. Once upon a time, I can't remember what year it was. I believe I went 10 months without watching any television or movies. And when you come back from the burn, it's really not that big a deal to not just go back to TVs, or at least, I live alone, so I don't have like family and friends that are trying to get me to sit down and watch a movie with them. Um, so maybe it's a little easier for me than it would be for a lot of people, but I'm riding this, and I guess I'll just share before I play another song here. The other two things that I came away from the burn. Oh, three things. Oh, wow. I have three, I'll just call them post burn resolutions for this year. One of them I'm starting tomorrow. I'm going to take up a fire practice. What I mean by that is some form of fire spinning. I haven't decided what my fire spinning art is going to be. I haven't yet decided what tool. It might be fire sword, it might be staff, it might be poi, it might be rope dart. I don't know, but I'm going to start going to a bi-weekly workshop tomorrow night after my Friday night acro class. That's way out far in the desert, away from flammable things, outside of Los Angeles. Got to drive like an hour or so to get there. So that's one. I'm going to start some kind of fire practice. Two, I'm going to return to daily meditation. I was able to do that very, very easily at the burn. I frequently combined ketamine and sound baths at Burning Man. It was available and extremely enlightening. It was very peaceful. And I will not necessarily continue with those elements in place, but just daily meditation. And 3, an inversion practice. I've never done this with any serious rigor. What this amounts to is something that looks like handstand training, but a little more acrobatic and a little more specific in its applications. So it's like acrobatics that you do from a handstand. And yeah, I've never had a regular handstand practice, and a lot of people do that instead of weightlifting, for example, or some of the other physical things that I do. I don't mean to trade out weightlifting for a handstand practice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to start implementing some kind of scheduled inversion practice. So I'm feeling really free and inspired at the same time. All right. Yeah, by the way, David, you are spelling poi correctly. P-O-I. Oh, Nathan Rita. Happy birthday. Nathan, no shit. Nathan is 30 today. All right, man. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Okay. Speaking of which, I've got a birthday announcement myself to get to before the show is over. So don't let me forget after I play another song. Angie, Angie, when will those clouds all disappear? Angie, Angie, where will it lead us from here? With no love in our souls and no money in our coats, you can't say we're satisfied. Angie, Angie, you can't say we never tried. Angie, you're beautiful, yeah. But ain't it time we said goodbye? Angie, I still love you, baby. Remember all those nights we cried. All the dreams we held so close seem to all go up in smoke. Let me whisper in your ear, Angie, Angie, where will it lead us from here? All the dreams we held so close seem to all go up in smoke. I hate that sadness in your eyes, but Angie, I still love you, baby. Everywhere I look, I see your eyes. There ain't a woman that comes close to you. Come on, baby, dry your eyes. Angie, Angie, ain't it good to be alive? Angie, Angie, you can't say we never tried. Well, we're pulling into the station here. And I saw the request for Lost in a Minute. But damn it, I don't have... Oh, wait a second. I was going to say, I don't have harmonicas near me, but I do have them in a bag that's right behind this camera. So let's... I don't usually like leaving this sort of thing up to chance. Let's see what's in this bag right here behind the camera. Meanwhile, you can still hear me talking. My birthday is coming up. My birthday is September 30th, which is a Saturday this year. So, I started this tradition a few years ago. Wherein a bunch of people gather together, bring ingredients, and we put together burritos. Oh, son of a bitch. I thought this was lost to the consumption of a party last Saturday night. That's a nice bonus. Wow. So, thank you for requesting that song, because that's quite a bonus. Son of a bitch. I was really convinced that was just gone. That was wonderful. So, September 30th is a Saturday. We will be continuing the tradition wherein we gather in Venice and put together burritos. Take them out in wagons and in coolers and whatever out to the beach. And we literally just give them away to anybody that's there and hungry. It's a wonderful tradition because the people who do it, take part in building and giving away burritos, just feel this incredible sense of community, of doing something together that is worth doing. People on the beach are similarly just blown away that this is something that anyone would want to do for their birthday, instead of it being about me, let's come celebrate me. I mean, hell, last year I literally broke up a fight in which there were two guys about to get in it because one guy apparently knocked an actual burrito out of another guy's hands, and they were just about to throw down, and I came up and said, "It's my birthday, and the one thing that I want is for the two of you not to fight. I'm going to replace your burrito in real time. Is everything cool?" And, it's the two guys really did want to fight, so it took quite a bit more than that. That's the abridged version. But it was, it was a pretty nice way to do things. Oh, that's an important note. That one. Oh, oh, that. It might be clogged with playa. That could be a deal breaker. Oh, oh. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I happen to have one more D flat diatonic, i.e., same key. Let's see what this is. Yeah, it's like Mary Poppins carpet bag. Thank you. Okay, we're in luck. So, if you would like to come, there will be invites going out. I will make the Facebook event this evening after the LoveCast and be sending out invites. If you don't get an invite and would like to come, hit me up. You're invited. Facebook puts limits on these so that I can't just invite everybody, but that does not mean that you are not welcome. That means Facebook limits what I can put out there on the internets. Similarly, if you have people that you know who would like to join us and are similarly inclined to the anthropic spirit, you can bring them. Preferably let me know so that we've got like a guest list and I can tell our hosts how many people to expect. But in the afternoon, we'll be building burritos, passing those out. And then in the evening, we will retire back to the same house for an evening party to be hosted by Miss Christina Allen, one of my closest friends in the world, and also a campmate at Burning Man. It's all very in theme, on brand. And I also want to make sure to thank Miss Emily Thatcher and my one anonymous donor for their contributions to LoveCast 155. And also just one last bit of news upkeep, housekeeping. This is going to be the only. Thank you, Joe. I'm happy about this birthday tradition. Yeah, it's a good one. Tonight is going to be the only LoveCast of September. My dad is coming to town next week, which I'm thrilled about. It's the first time I've seen my dad, will have seen my dad since before the pandemic. Of course, we talk on the phone a lot, every day or almost every day. We're very close, my family and I. But Dad's going to come out and we're going to be doing some maintenance up in Big Bear in the house. And then we're going to come back here and do some maintenance on my cabin. You know, stuff like getting the crap out of bottles that keep you from drinking the way you want. So I'm not going to be able to do a LoveCast for the next 2 Thursdays. But join us for the first Thursday in October, and we'll get this going again. And with that, here's the last song for LoveCast 156. Throw something into the virtual tip jar if you can afford it. It's very much appreciated. And we'll close with Lost in the Minute. A little more. If I made you a dress of red autumn leaves, would you marry me in the fall? I don't need a June bride in a pure white gown. Little writing is clear on your wall. I was never the man to feel understood, and I can't expect that to change now. There are too many sides to even hope to be seen. Still, I just want to show you somehow. And I'm lost in the minute, thought it was you. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. If I made you a gift of a braid of my hair, grown the years you took to find, would you show me just how you look warm in moonlight? Would you sing with me all through the night? As we dance in the sun, red low in the sky, glow the colors of Spanish mystery. And you have to know, anywhere that we go looks like sunset when you're next to me. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. Spending fortunes not made on dreams I have once fade, or casting on new links in my chain of regret. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. And I'm lost in the minute, I thought it was you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That puts the cap on that bottle. So, thank you all. Thank you all for joining us for LoveCast 156. I'm going to put a little space in the program to give Amanda on Demand a chance to catch up in the numbers. She's closing in fast. LoveCast 157 will return in October. And this is one of those times that I'm just profoundly grateful for this community. Thank you all for being us together. That's an incredible, incredible phenomenon. That is an emergent property that you could not possibly predict by looking at any single individual particle in the system. It takes the collective interacting together to make beautiful things like murmurations of birds or waves or the flow of air that you couldn't possibly predict from just studying one oxygen molecule. So thank you for contributing to your part of us. I love you all. I'll see you in October. If not on my birthday, September 30th, beforehand. Good night.